much, Mr. Churi. And Tom, clearly we have the same barber. Like your style. And you got the Navy suit, I've got the Navy suit jacket. A lot in common. You may be Nigerian, I'm North African. We got a lot in common. Before I begin, I do want to acknowledge the atrocities that we've seen and witnessed as the news keeps rolling from the continent of Africa. A 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit Morocco late last night, and now the toll is about 1,300 people who have died. Our heart is extended to the families and the people of Morocco and recognize that they too will experience some time of trauma, with the hope that, as everybody else from the continent, is pretty resilient in times of turmoil. Sosa, I also want to give a shout out for Sosa. I saw her twice before, actually 3 times, but the first time I saw Sosa, we were at the Black Bloc Party sharing a panel to talk about how one can take care of oneself. And the second time I saw her was in my capacity as the board chair of Douglas College. And it took me a second, but she walked across the stage and I was there to congratulate, as I typically do, all of our students. And it was to my wonderful surprise that she was graduating that year. She looked at me and she said, "Hello, Adel." And I said, "Is that Sosa?" And so it's wonderful to be here with you today. Although I cannot see any of you, the lights are just so bright. I'm assuming you're over there. I've been asked to talk about resilience, and as the previous speaker, Tom, shared his perspective, I always like to look at words and their definitions. And given that the word resilience is an English word, what does it really mean, as per a dictionary definition? And the definition, as many are out there, and you can search this yourself, it says to be resilient is to have the capacity to withdraw or to withhold or, to withstand and to recover quickly from difficulties. The idea that one will withstand, take in whatever that difficulty is, and yet quickly be able to recover. It also means to be tough, to spring back, to adapt to difficulties and challenging life circumstances, to be tough mentally, and to be tough emotionally. And what I will do, if this will eject, is to tell you that I don't think we can be tough all the time, particularly when we're addressing complex challenges in our personal lives or in the realm of our professional existence. I have had the privilege to work with senior executives, to advise heads of states, and I take that from a place of privilege. One thing that I found very common with people who have to make high-stake decisions is that they oftentimes expect themselves to rebound quickly, to fulfill the very definition, as I've just read to you, of resilience, to be able to take in a hard circumstance and to be tough, at least project that toughness to your stakeholders, if you're a head of state or if you're a CEO. Or if you, as me, as like I am, a parent, to be tough in the eyes of your children if, God forbid, we were witnessing an atrocity as an earthquake. Because that's what happens to us when we're in positions of authority. People look to us for answers, and oftentimes that it's going to be okay. But who takes care of us? That's a question that I believe is the theme not only in today's conference, but in the spirit of what Sosa is accomplishing through her Sosa Talks. And so in preparation for today, and I know I only have 10 minutes, which I probably only have 5 left, I thought, how can I give some perspective on how we can exercise not only the very wonderful things that we're trying to achieve in our professional, personal realms, but also ensuring that we're staying actively taking care of ourselves. Because I don't think we can hold and support and provide the critical services to the very people that are looking to us to have answers and to give direction and order. We need to ensure that we're taking care of ourselves. And so to start, I'd like to tell you that you don't have to be tough because we can't. One thing that I witnessed firsthand with the President Obama's White House is When Michael Brown, a young 18-year-old, was shot by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, President Obama looked at his authority as the president, and one gift that he had was the power to convene people. That's what people have as a position of authority. And so he convened people to help make progress on those challenges of black and brown kids getting shot by police officers. And I was fortunate enough to be one of those that were called up to advise Mr. Charles Ramsey, who is the chairperson of that task force. And more that I learned from not only police officers, families, is that we need to be supporting one another. And frankly, we don't have all the answers. So how do you remain resilient? I'm going to leave you with 3 Ps. And the idea of resiliency is that it's okay to not be okay and to not be tough all the time. So how do we maintain this ability to be able to sustain the work that we're doing while ensuring we're taking care of ourselves? The first P that I'm offering is that we need practices. Certain repertoires that I'm assuming many of you have in your daily lives. And if you don't, we need to start. One of the practices Tom mentioned is sleep. I hope that's a regular repertoire. And good sleep, quality sleep. Some practices, as I am from the African continent, is singing and dancing. We need to sing and we need to dance. The performers today, I thought, maybe I'm underdressed. I should have worn my boo-boo. Okay, so you know what a boo-boo is. African garb, you know, with lots of wonderful artwork. Just putting it on, you feel like a king or a queen. So practices. It could be going to the gym. It could be exercising on a daily basis. It could be writing. And I think Mr. Shuri mentioned about cooking or drawing or storytelling. But regular practices that anchor us, where we're not fulfilling responsibilities and expectations and being tough in the eyes of those that are counting on us. But it's a place where you can be you, where you can diffuse all of the roles and responsibilities that we carry every second of every day. Where do you anchor yourself? What are the practices? I encourage you to reflect on those and to have them. I certainly do. I'll share some of them. I take working out religiously. I work out every day and I have my regular repertoire, and if you know me and you see me in the gym, you know I'm not going to talk to you because I'm in my moment. I've got a force field around me. I'm doing work in order for me to sustain myself. After I finish my workout, let's have a chat. And there are other practices, prayers, meditations, rosaries, whatever it is that you have that you know anchor you. The other P are places. Where do you go where, again, consistent with practices, you anchor yourself, you diffuse, you're not carrying the work and the burden and the responsibilities that others put on us. I go to a park, generally. Mundy Park is where I grew up, not far from. I go for walks, I go for jogs. Some of you, during COVID, it could have been your balcony, it could have been a yoga mat, it could be a church pew. It could be a mosque, a synagogue. But we need to have places where we're able to, again, diffuse and let go of the burdens and the responsibilities that are put on us in order for us to anchor ourselves. And the third P, any guesses? So we have practices, places. Absolutely. We can't really traverse this life, given all the roles and responsibilities, without having people. And let me be a little bit clearer on what people are. They're not colleagues necessarily, because colleagues, there's always ulterior motives. You're working together, there's more at stake. These people should be your confidants, a shoulder to cry on, a person that you can call. Texting, maybe, at a semi-regular basis, but somebody that you can actually sit with and let them know how you are really doing. What's your state? In Arabic, they say, كيف الحال? What's your state? Like when you see somebody say, how you doing here? And usually people say fine when we're not really. In Arabic, it's the word of how are you doing is كيف الحال, which is what's your state? Like where are you at? And as a friend, you're sincerely asking because they're there to receive and to support. We can't do hard work without having, as I'm proposing, these 3 things: practices, people, and places. I'd like to think that we're on the right track. by the exercising of leadership from Sosa, in that she has truly created a wonderful space. Not only Sosa talks, but actually physically being in the space. Although, like anybody else who's been on the stage will tell you, I can't see most of you, but I trust that you're there. I appreciate you. Blessings. Thank you for offering me the stage. Thank you.